to the Jets is, quote, essentially done, according to reports. The holdup? Well, Rodgers' final decision on one, does he want to be a Jet? And two, does he want to continue playing? Shannon, what do you think? Is Rodgers going to sign off on being traded to the Jets?
Yes. He's not wanted in Green Bay. They made that abundantly clear. Skip, my grandma used to say, boy, the loneliest place in the world is not alone. It's being someplace you're not wanted. You can be on a desert island by yourself.
Grandmother was like a genius.
It is not as lonely.
She should have written a book.
I'm going to write the book if I can ever get my sister to sign off on it. But Skip, Skip, you're not wanted there. They made it abundantly clear in their rhetoric and what they said. Aaron Rodgers returning is not a number one priority. It's not a number one option. We haven't had conversations like they have in the past, begging him, Aaron, come on, Aaron, please take our money and come back. Aaron, we need you. I don't know what, you're Mr. Packer. The fans love you here, yada, yada, yada. There has been none of that. Aaron knows that. I think he spoke to Brandon Marshall at a Laguna Beach a charity flag football event, and he basically said, hey, it won't be long. Well, Skip, if you say you're not going to hold this team hostage with your decision, legal tampering starts today at noon. Okay, come on with it. Ain't nothing just go, well, come on with it.
Yep.
They don't want one team loves you. They say one man treasure, another team's treasure. Hey, somebody don't want you over here, somebody wants you over there. Clearly the Jets want you. They got on a plane, Skip, flew to Milwaukee. You said they flew to Malibu. Okay, I thought they flew
it was Southern California. I don't know.
Okay.
But he's got a home, I'm pretty sure, on the water in Malibu.
Well, they flew somewhere from New York.
They did.
5+ hours on a private jet and met with Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay. Skip, you remember when they wanted Aaron Rodgers? What they do, Skip? They got Brian Gutekunst and Mark Murphy. They got on the plane, and they went and met Aaron Rodgers.
They did.
To keep him. This time, they're like, nah, we good. We call, hey, when you want to do something, let us know. Whatever you do is fine with us. The Jets did what Green Bay did a few years ago when they really wanted Aaron Rodgers. Now they don't really want Aaron Rodgers. It's kind of like, Skip, the flowers have started. I ain't taking you to the movies no more. We're not going out to dinner. We're not going on vacation. Somebody else is doing that for you.
Yep.
That's the Jets. So I think I don't know. The speculation is that it's a done deal. They're just waiting on Aaron to make his decision. But Green Bay said, nah, we good, bro. You can go ahead and take your services. Go and take your services over there.
Quick aside, by the way, my grandmother carried a gun. So I wish I'd had your grandmother instead of my grandmother, as I talked about last week on my podcast.
My grandmother carried the word with her. She said that was her protection.
All right. This is getting curiouser and curiouser to me about Aaron Rodgers' lack of commitment to the Jets. This is just me, because the NFL Network keeps shooting down some of the reports. Tom Pelissero is saying that he believes Aaron Rodgers' approval is a prerequisite to the teams even beginning their trade talk, because he has to say, yes, I will go to the Jets, as opposed to what's his option? Retire?
Right.
Leave $60 million on the table?
Nah.
Think not. Okay, this is just me. I don't believe they've engaged yet in trade talk. I don't know that Green Bay, I told you, has much leverage at all here, because they have made it very clear they're done.
Yes.
They want to move on with Jordan Love, and I do not blame them one ounce on
neither
this.
do I.
It's time for Jordan Love. It's time to see what he is made of, because I think he's made of the right stuff, because everybody on that team has sung his praises. The team feels ready to move on with him. Even Alan Zard, who's going to be a free agent, he said, I need a decision today, because I need to know. Should I stay here, Aaron, with you? Because I want to play with you if you're going to be a Packer. Is that still on the table? Okay, this is just me from a distance. Aaron Rodgers has really struggled since that one time long ago Super Bowl, way back when. We're going on 12 years ago. And as you know, he has stunk it up in the playoffs ever since.
He has.
And some of the wins that he has were lucky wins. But we just know, as you keep pointing out, over the last 3 years, you were the MVP with home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and you lost at home to Tom Brady in the NFC, your first ever NFC championship game at home. Then you run it right back, and you're MVP with home field advantage, and you lose your first home game to Jimmy G. And then last year, you had a virtual home game to get into the playoffs against a team you have owned in your division, the Detroit Lions, and you blow that game because you stunk in that game, which was virtually your third straight home playoff type loss. Okay. Does he really, after all that he hasn't done in the postseason, I think his record is now 7-9 in the postseason since that Super Bowl, does he really, at this stage and age, at age 39 and going on toward 40, does he want to go to the Big Apple and be viewed as the savior of the New York Jets? I'm not sure he wants to stomach that. I'm not sure he wants that on his shoulder pads.
Skip, I just wrote that down. The
Okay.
pressure that he will face, Skip, no matter where he goes. Because when you're the quarterback, and any team that signs a quarterback, you said, we're one piece away. And the piece that we're away is the quarterback. The same thing that Russell Wilson felt when he went to Denver. Because Denver said, if we get rid of all these other jackleg quarterbacks that we've had over the last since Peyton, we're a quarterback away. And the pressure is immense. Yeah, going to New York, obviously we know what the New York media is. But there's not a place that Aaron Rodgers can go where the pressure will be greater than anything. Because, Skip, guess what?
That is true. But this would be up there. This would be at the top.
Him and Green, Skip, see, Green Bay is comfort. See, here's the thing about comfort zone. It's a great place to be, but nothing grows there.
No.
That's why a championship hadn't grown in Green Bay, because Aaron Rodgers had gotten comfortable. See, now, get him out that comfort zone, and we'll see just exactly what you're made of, Aaron. You talk about you can handle the pressure, and you all cavalier and smug. Be careful. He might be drinking about 5 or 6 shots of tequila.
He might. I agree. Okay, comfort zone. He knows that every year he plays the sympathy card after the final game. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Should I come back? And Packer Nation drops back to its knees again and says,
Aaron,
please come back.
Don't do it. Don't do it,
Come back, Aaron. And he goes right back into his comfort zone because he's scheduled to make more money than anybody makes next year. $60 million. He's got another year after that, but he's got $60 million on the table next year. What would be his druthers? You don't think he'd love to be Green Bay's quarterback next year? Because that's beautiful. There's no real pressure there.
Right.
Hey, I'm arguably the greatest quarterback in the history of this franchise. You could still argue him versus Brett Favre, but a lot of people think Aaron has slightly eclipsed Brett Favre.
This franchise is underachieved. You've gotten 30 years of great quarterback play, 7 MVPs between 2 quarterbacks, and you got 2 Super Bowl wins to show for it. So this organization has underachieved.
Agreed.
But Aaron Rodgers, Skip, I don't believe he wants the pressure, but he also doesn't want to leave $60 million on the table. Because I don't care what you're doing now. See, you ain't making $60 million. I don't know. They might. I mean, there might be a network. Somebody might want him to be the lead analyst and pay him $37 million a year. I don't believe it. They just signed Romo. ESPN just got Aikman. Brady's coming in 24 here. So maybe Amazon got some money for him somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe.
But this is what I do know. He don't want that pressure.
He doesn't.
Because the expectation when you sign a quarterback, you go back and look, Skip, the odds when a team signs a quarterback, and don't matter, you go back from 90 when Montana left 49ers and went to Kansas City. Look at what the odds were.
Okay.
So any quarterback, and you talk about that quarterback, he is a 4-time MVP. No matter what he's done since he won that long Super Bowl, Skip, he got 4 of those on his mantle. And so the expectation for the Jets, you watch their odds. They might have the 6th or 7th best odds to be in the Super Bowl, given their defense, given their skill positions, and given him at quarterback.
Agreed.
Does he want that?
No. I will bet you he has been on the phone to Mark Murphy in the last 24 hours saying, hey, let's try to work this back out. Let's try to work. And Mark's saying,
Mark Murphy changed his number.
Aaron, I told you once upon a time, don't you be the problem, and you have been the problem, and we need to move on, and you need to move on. And we're right on the cusp of a deal with the Jets, but we need you to sign off. Or they don't want to talk unless they know for a fact they're going to get you.
Correct.
And they went out and got Nathaniel Hackett.
Your boy.
It's absolutely your boy, right?
Yeah, that's what the Denver signed. They thought they was getting a package deal. Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers in Denver. So now you get an opportunity that's your guy. You get an opportunity to relocate with him in New York.
I mean, what's not to love? Except it's New York. It's the New York media, and it's expectation.
Yeah, man. But if I'm Brian Gutekunst and Mark Murphy, Aaron Rodgers tried to call, the number you reached is no longer in service. If you feel you reached this number in error, please hang up and try again.
That is correct. I am with you on that because I will bet in Aaron Rodgers' heart of hearts, he's saying, you know what? I can do Green Bay one more year for $60 million. I can do that.
Of course.
No, I can do that in my sleep. I can just roll out of bed and do Green Bay.
Skip, honestly, have you ever been in a situation like this? Girls like, I don't care if you leave. You can leave. You make it seem like you're the only girl in the world. There's plenty of girls out there. And she's like, don't leave. I was just playing. That's Aaron Rodgers. He did all that talking.
He did.
About leaving, and now Green Bay is like, okay, bye.
Called his bluff.
No, I was just, you know what? I really think, you know what? I think we can work this out. I think, I love the pieces that you've added. I love what you've done. No.
Yep.
You get no do-overs. You said, hey, we moving on. We like Jordan Love. We think he's earned the opportunity to be the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers in 2023.
He has.
Now, Aaron, we've been very accommodating to you. We paid you $300+ million. We want to move on.
Okay. Now, if I'm the Jets and I do get the okay that he will come to New York and be my Jets quarterback, then I'm not going to give you much for him because we are taking him off your hands. So it's another one of those deals like Jay Ram. It's that. That's exactly what it is. Maybe a third.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you and have to deal with this. I'm going to deal with it for 1 year. I know I got it for 1 year, but I'm not going to go through this next year where, I got to evaluate and see where I am. You know where you are. You're in New York.
Yeah.
And you just probably had another debilitating loss because you gagged.
That is correct. This is going to be fascinating to see how this plays out. And to his point, he did the interview the other day on Saturday. There's a time limit on this, and it is. The Jets at some point are going to say, okay, if you're dragging your feet, we're out.
I thought he went to that place up in Oregon or somewhere and hallucinated for like 5 or 6 days.
Darkness.
And when he came up out of there, he was going to have clarity.
That's what he said.
Well, he was in dark. You couldn't see anything, so I guess the clarity you saw was light. So now make a decision.
He's keeping the Jets in darkness.
Man, he don't want that pressure.
No, he does not. I agree.
It's crazy how many parallels this situation has to the one that Brett Favre put the Packers in back in his day, guys.
He became the very thing he despised the most.
Fascinating. Indeed. Yes, he did. All right. Gentlemen, our team's going to be fighting to sign Odell Beckham Jr. after his latest workout session. I got to get your take on my guy, OBJ. That's next, coming up on Undisputed.